The Government of India declared the National Safe Motherhood Day in the year 2003. It became the first country to do so. It is an initiative of the White Ribbon Alliance to raise awareness about adequate access to care during pregnancy, childbirth, and postnatal phase. White Ribbon Alliance is a coalition of global partners working together to mobilize grassroots efforts, generate worldwide attention, and make safe motherhood a priority for governments and international organizations. National Safe Motherhood Day is observed each year in India on the birth anniversary of Kasturba Gandhi, wife of the father of nation, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. India is one of the high-risk nations as far as childbirth is concerned. 15% of world's maternal deaths take place in India. Due to improper care during pregnancy, 44,000 women die every year due to childbirth. Through this series, we aim to raise awareness about safe motherhood. Hi, I'm Sana Khan, and today our guest for the talk is Dr. Kirti Shankar. Dr. Kirti is a senior gynecologist and obstetrician in Chembur, Mumbai. She completed her graduation in 1998 from Motilal Nehru Medical College in First Division. She is a postgraduate in gynecology and obstetrics and admitted as diplomate of the National Board for the Practice of Gynecology and Obstetrics, TNB. She further has to her credit additional 2-year certification in the same. Hi, Dr. Kirti. Welcome to MediCircle. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you, Sana Khan, for giving me this opportunity to keep my points on this important basically topic, which is very important and very close to our heart to reduce the maternal mortality rate by improving the whatever we can do as a gynec for this society.
It is our pleasure, ma'am. Definitely, it is our pleasure. Okay, Dr. Kirti, the 6 pillars of safe motherhood include family planning, antenatal care, obstetric care, postnatal care, post-abortal care, and control of STI, HIV, and AIDS. In your view, how can we ensure safe motherhood with all of these issues?
Basically, if we see in the 6th pillar, the first pillar is family planning. And
Right.
I feel that is the foremost and the most important pillar of this entire, what we can say, reduction in maternal mortality. At very first point, stops all the unwanted pregnancy. That is the first thing we do not want for our women.
Right.
We want them to conceive only when they want a child. That is what I always say to all my patients in my practice also. It should be that you are willing to go ahead for pregnancy, then only you should get pregnant. They need to take all the advantage of whatever we say. We have a basket of contraceptions available. So increasing the awareness at the level of the females as well as at the level of their families, especially husbands and in-laws, is also very important. It reduces unwanted pregnancies, so indirectly it obviously improves the health of the mother, health of the children, and ultimately decreases the maternal mortality by obviously reducing the post-abortal and post-delivery complications by stopping the unwanted pregnancy at very first level.
Correct.
Second thing comes as antenatal checkup. Once the patient is pregnant, she's a pregnant lady, we can say whatever care we provide from the day the pregnancy is detected till the time of delivery, that comes into antenatal care.
Right.
So that antenatal care, we have to maintain the physiology of the pregnancy as well as we have to detect any pathology at the very beginning as soon as we can detect, and we can do whatever treatment possible or whatever preventive measures to further deteriorate the health of the mother. So it comes like we have to at least tell all the mothers that they need minimum 4 checkups. That is minimum, I'm saying.
Right.
First at around 16 weeks, second is somewhere between 24 to 28 weeks.
Right.
Then comes 32 weeks and then 36 weeks.
Okay.
See, the pregnancy is a duration of around 40 weeks. Ideally, WHO recommend that every mother should get at least once in a month checkup till the 7th month of pregnancy.
Correct.
7th and 8th month, they should get fortnightly checkup. And 9th month, they should have at least weekly checkup.
Right.
because that is the time when complications are towards the higher side. Okay. So, but in our country, with so much of problems in and around the health sector, we say minimum 4 ANC checkups. That should be there to detect the complications of the mother as well as the baby.
Right.
By giving these checkups, by detecting the health problems or other whatever problems happening in the pregnancy, and as well as immunizing our mothers by doing the tetanus immunization, which is the most important thing in our country, as lots of deliveries are being conducted at home or by untrained birth attendants.
Right.
So if they are coming by for a checkup on these 4 occasions, we can reduce lots of things. We need to provide them supplementation, which is very important as the demand is very high during pregnancy. They
Right.
have to be very careful about the diet as well as supplementation. So we teach them all these things during ANC checkups. We do regular checkups. We teach them about the nutrition. We tell them about the reason for giving them supplementation, as well as you have to make them mentally ready and
Mm-hmm.
physically ready for the delivery. That is the third pillar of your national motherhood program. That is the obstetric care.
Correct.
Here comes the importance of delivery. This is basically whatever we are doing the healthy mother at the end of pregnancy. And that is the third point.
Right.
Here, obviously, all mothers they should have access to safe delivery by the at least trained health workers minimum that much we can provide. So our government is running lots of programs to at least meet this minimum requirement. The reason for obstetric care is like whenever possible we have to deliver them normally, and if not possible at the very delivering them by cesarean sections or whatever. But our motto is like we have to do it. Healthy mother and healthy baby is finally the our motto of the NC checkup, and that should be the motto of obstetric care. So deliveries in the hospital or by the trained attendants in itself leads to a good care at the time of delivery, and this is the obstetric care. If we are providing good antenatal care and good obstetric care, obviously postpartum periods are good for these patients because they are healthy enough to tolerate the pregnancy as well as delivery. Still, in the postpartum period, the body is coming back to normal. Lots of physiological changes are happening in the body, as
Mm-hmm.
well as they need to take care of their baby. So the
Right.
demand of the body is very high in the postnatal period as well. They have to be very careful about their diet, again for the supplementation, about the hygiene, the way they need to feed their babies, what to take precaution for feeding the baby, and how
Right.
to maintain their own health.
Mm-hmm.
So these things comes into postnatal care. Now the post-abortal care is again, as we are taking care, as I discussed at the time of family planning, most of the cases of post-abortal complications, they are because of the unwanted pregnancies, because of the illegal abortions, and complications arising from all those things.
Mm-hmm.
So, and post-abortal care, again, most of the time patients feel that even if they had a pregnancy of 6 to 8 weeks and then had an abortion, because so many things was there, and there is not like a live issue. So families and patients, they themselves are pretty ignorant about the care post-abortion. That is
Right.
one thing we need to teach them, that it is important. Even a 8 weeks pregnancy leads to lots of changes in the body, lots of demand on the body. So they
Mm-hmm.
have to be very taking care of their health, their diet, and their rest as well.
Right.
Now, the prevention of HIV is something now, prevent HIV, STDs, and everything. Nowadays, I feel I am practicing in a city like Mumbai. So I see lots of the people are involved in, you can say, premarital sex. They have multiple partners. It is pretty common in our country. But when I speak regarding the use of contraception and what should they do to prevent STDs because of all these things, they are really not aware. Even in the educated society, whatever we can say, the high-fi societies, girls, they are also not aware. So we have to tell them here, obviously having being in single relation is the most practical thing. But nowadays, I feel it is not possible. Then they should be aware about the use of barrier contraception at least
Correct.
for the prevention of STD. That is the first thing I always tell all my patients if they were involved in the receive sexual practices, you can say, to use at least minimum they can do for themselves is by telling their partners to use condoms. That is the first thing we can do to avoid STDs. Otherwise, we need to teach all these patients about the symptoms or signs of the STDs and take proper care of these STDs, going ahead for treatment and diagnosis and treatment whenever possible.
Right.
This is by doing all these things, I feel at least we can reduce the maternal mortality and morbidity to a great extent. We always go by data. We
True.
always say these many females are dying because of the maternal mortality. But you
Yes.
will be surprised to know for every death, there is at least 20 to 25 females who are suffering with grave morbidity. That is
Mhm.
some health issues because they were just landed into complications. Although they were saved, but lots of things, lots of problems happened because of that incident. So
Right.
considering all these factors, we can obviously improve a lot, and that is, I think, the government of India has started a very good initiative in the form of this thing, and you people are also taking care about increasing the awareness. It should go a long way.
So, Dr. Kirti, each year in India, roughly 30 million women experience pregnancy and 26 million have a live birth. With an estimated 45,000 deaths per annum, India contributes to a majority of the maternal mortality burden. What are the major
Yeah.
causes and how to prevent them?
Okay. See, first of all, I want to tell you one thing, Ms. Sana. Whenever we speak about the number, we forget one thing that India is like the second most populous country in the world. We have a we cater a huge population of the world.
Mhm.
So if you go by number, then the numbers are always going to be high as we are doing in Corona case also.
Mhm.
Okay, because we have such a huge population. So if you say it's not thousand, but we have to see ki how many we just calculate the number. The numbers are not as bad as they look in the absolute form when we see only the numbers
True, true.
because of the huge population. So
Mhm.
again, as I told you in the beginning of my interview, like the most important pillar is to avoid unwanted pregnancies, doing a good antenatal care, and
Mhm.
giving a good, at least minimum, giving them the opportunity to deliver by a trained birth attendant. By taking care of these three things, we can reduce the maternal mortality. Now, the causes, you can say we can divide the maternal mortality into three parts. Okay.
Mhm.
Maternal mortality is basically death of a mother anytime during pregnancy, at the time of pregnancy, or 42 days after pregnancy because of any reason or any complication arising from the pregnancy. Here we don't include accidents and other causes. Okay, only the problems which are directly because of the pregnancy. In that causes, obviously, it comes like the ectopic pregnancies, abortions with heavy bleedings. Then comes the antepartum hemorrhage, which is the hemorrhage at the time of bleeding at the time of pregnancy. Then
Right.
comes pregnancy-induced hypertension.
Mhm.
Then comes the postpartum hemorrhages. These are the most common reasons, which are the direct reason. These complications are arising directly because the patient is pregnant, because the woman is pregnant. Now,
Mhm.
the comes the indirect causes, like the most common reason health problem in our country is anemia, in girls
Right.
also. So, anemia because pregnancy produces a huge burden on the body. There are lots of
Mhm.
physiological changes happening in the body. So, if
Mhm.
somebody has a problem before pregnancy, because of the increased demand at the time of pregnancy, the
Mhm.
problem aggravates. Like
Right.
the problem if a woman has anemia, if a woman has a problem of any heart disease, if a woman has diabetes, if a woman otherwise has some thyroid issues,
Right.
because of the increasing demand and stress of the body and because of the load on the body, these problems aggravate. So
Mhm.
by keeping them in check, by doing the proper antenatal care as well as keeping the doctors concerned with these problems as a group with us, we can prevent maternal mortality in these class also, which are very prone for the having the maternal mortality. And third comes like the infections and all. So
Right.
infections like malaria, dengue, right now corona. These things again, because there is huge burden on the on the body. If anything happens, it is going to give more trouble to a pregnant woman or a woman who is at the time of delivery or just after delivery when lots of changes are happening in the body. They are very prone to have complications arising from all these things. Again, by giving a good antenatal care, by keeping the health of the mother at the optimal level, and by giving them good opportunity to deliver by a birth attendant at an institution, and finally by giving them good postpartum care, we can reduce the chances of the, whatever the maternal mortality can happen. Here we shouldn't forget about the sepsis arising post-pregnancy because of the unclean delivery habits that is being done by untrained people or sometime at home by the personals whosoever are conducting delivery. A very huge percentage of the neonatal deaths and maternal deaths are because of the bacterial sepsis is happening post deliveries because of the unhygienic delivery habits.
Right.
So we have to take care of all these things. We have few factors that we can say ki if we are having these things in place, the chances that the maternal mortality will reduce is pretty high.